Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Happy Saturday, or whatever day of the week this is. Today's story comes from the book called Assholes, and it is called The Doctor Who Thought Goat Balls Could Cure Everything. I've got a grudging respect for Dr. John R. Brinkley. I'll say this about the man: there aren't many people out there who can convince anyone that what they really need in their life is a third testicle, and that it should be taken from a goat. But this is exactly what Brinkley did in early 20th century America. Having bought a fraudulent medical degree from the Kansas City Eclectic Medical University in 1912, like he was picking up some milk, Brinkley began earning enough money as a fake doctor to actually go to medical school and complete his course. Credit where it's due, he told the truth, just several years in advance of when it was actually true. In 1917 he settled in the complete shithole of Milford, Kansas, which was yet to have any modern-day conveniences such as paved roads, running water, or a doctor whose solution to every problem wasn't, "I'm going to ram a third testicle in your nutsack." For a time, though, he acted like a normal doctor, travelling around and performing minor surgeries for cash. Then one day he had a bizarre encounter with an old man that completely changed his course. The old man, who was a meat packer, came into his office for a chat, and apparently talked for quite some time about other topics before he stopped beating about the bush and told Brinkley he was impotent. Quite why he felt it was better to have a long chat about life before getting to the "my meat isn't packing" portion of the conversation is unclear, but to each their own. The man asked Brinkley to do what he could to fix his problem, but Brinkley insisted that not much could be done. Brinkley, likely trying to lighten the mood, made a joke about how the old man wouldn't have this trouble if he had the testicles of one of the goats at the old meat-packing plant. A little pointer: if you go to your doctor about your testicles and they tell you what you need are some goat balls, you are well within your rights to ask to see a different doctor. Here's where things took a turn. The old man began to insist that the doctor put the goat testicles in him. Despite Brinkley's protest of, "What if someone hears you have a goat testicle?" and "also you might die," Brinkley eventually decided to do the operation. If, to you, this sounds like just the kind of reluctance a con man would feign in order to get their mark more interested, congratulations. You would not have fallen for the old three testicles switcheroo, as the professionals surely call it. A date was set, and the old man brought a goat around to the office in the dead of night, which, to be honest, seems more nefarious than were he simply to admit to the whole town, "Getting myself a goat, plum, nothing to worry about, just getting one of his knackers put into my knackers." The operation was, I don't want to say a success here, but the old man definitely left with one more testicle in his scrotum than he had previously. Post-op, the man had to have a cover story for why he was laid up in bed, one that didn't involve a goat. As such, whenever he needed his new testicle checking, he would ring and say to Brinkley that he had the flu and needed a visit, cleverly not mentioning, "I'm pleased with my new testicle," in case an operator was listening in on the call. Word did get around, however, and before long a surprising number of impotent men, desperate as they were, asked him to perform the operation despite the side effects, the main one being that the men's scrotums began to reek of goat meat. Men did report that they got their mojo, full erections, back, but you can sure as hell put this down to a placebo effect. Though Brinkley said he was attaching the new testicle to blood vessels within the balls, he was in fact merely cutting open the sac and plonking in there beneath the skin. Following an advertising scheme selling the goat operation as a miracle cure, Brinkley came into a lot of money and used it to build a hospital in the town, complete with an area to raise goats. His reputation grew, and he decided that the goat testicle no longer just cured impotence, but was good for a range of other conditions. Schizophrenia? Whack a testicle in there. Dementia? Testicle. Flatulence? Gonna shock you here and say, pop a ball in. As much as I'd like to call Brinkley a complete asshole, he was charging $750 per operation for a cure that essentially just gave your balls something to clack against. He did use some of the money he made to enrich the town around him, paying to install electricity in the town, as well as a sewerage system. His operation expanded, and he set up a legally dubious radio station down in Mexico, primarily to push a whole line of cures using goat balls, earning himself enough to own a ridiculously large mansion with a giant collection of Cadillacs. But, as the old saying goes, you can't keep opening up old men's scrotums and putting goat bollocks in there without breaking a few old men. Before he could die rich, he was up to his own balls in malpractice suits, after quite a number of patient deaths via infection. He died penniless, awaiting trial for an unrelated mail fraud. Say what you will about the man, he had one hell of a work ethic. The end. Don't forget to like and subscribe and press the wee bell notification. And a huge big thank you to all my subscribers, patrons and members. See you next week. Bye bye.